guys, Time Spice back here from the podcast, and today we're doing NBA news. So we have a lot of things to talk about in this podcast. So we have standings, we're gonna do some trades, and then we're gonna go from there. And I have my special guest, Alainna, today.
Hi, everybody. How are you, Marco?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
That's good. So I'm gonna start off with the Eastern standings. So let's get up with that. Okay, so East we got Boston at 1, and then 2 we got Milwaukee, and then 3 we got 76ers, and at 4 we got Cleveland, and at 5 we got Knicks, and at 6 we got Pacers, 8 Orlando, 6 Chicago, 10 Hawks, 11 Brooklyn, and then 12 Toronto, 13 Hornets, and then 14 Washington, and then 15 the Detroit Pistons. So those are your Eastern Conference standings. So I'm pretty impressed with the standings right now. Not too disappointed with the standings. It kind of makes sense, the standings. Celtics obviously are a number 1 seed. So I think that's pretty standing. And then Milwaukee now has the Lillard now, so they're doing even better now. They're like a super team. It's like Kevin Durant on the Suns now. Everybody's just joining a super team now. So the standings are pretty good for the Eastern. Let's go to the Western standings. Here at the Western standings, we have Alainna.
Okay, so topping the West off, we have Oakland, which is actually, I'm not gonna say I'm surprised because they've been in the running now for first, and I honestly thought Minnesota was gonna top off the Western standings, but they're in for second place right now. And then we have LA Clippers in third. Then we have the Denver Nuggets in fourth. We have Sacramento fifth, Phoenix sixth, and then going down more to the lower end of the conference, we have New Orleans in seventh, Dallas is ranked eighth, Los Angeles is ranked ninth, Utah Jazz is ranked 10th, Houston ranked 11th, Golden State ranked 12th, Memphis ranked 13th, Portland ranked 14th, San Antonio in 15th. And honestly, this is a very transparent, I think, time in the NBA right now. Honestly, I like what I'm seeing. We're getting a really nice shakeup. Last year, we're seeing a lot of, a good shuffle within the leaderboard. But honestly, I'm really happy that Minnesota's getting their time to shine. They've worked a lot throughout these past years and they've kind of been under the radar. But I'm really happy with the standings right now, actually. I do like the shakeup. I like how it's not usually the routine teams that are in the playoff standings, which have been like the routine, standard for the last 5 years.
That's true though. I'm surprised that the Timberwolves are like number 2 seed now, right? They're doing really better this year. Like Gobert's doing better, Towns doing better. I think the whole team is doing better now. They're not, because they used to do they used to have lots of turnovers when they used to play. They used to not have they used to have a good start, but then they used to not do good at the end of the game.
Right,
So
exactly.
now I think they're doing better both ways now, defensive and offensively now. So I think the Timberwolves are doing way better than they used to be doing. And then what are the Lakers at? 8th seed now? A 9th seed?
They're down to ninth, yeah, which I know you're not happy with.
I'm not happy about that, but
A big Lakers fan. I know that's gonna ruffle feathers, but I honestly kind of like to see it because it's giving people Oakland fans to really shine in this division,
yeah.
which I think they really well deserve. Their fluidity is really great, and I feel like LA is kind of lacking that right now. So I'm really happy that Oakland is really taking the lead here.
Yeah, I'm not too mad about the standing. It's just it makes sense. Like every team is doing good this year. Like obviously the Lakers are struggling because what the Lakers need, I think, to get better in the standings is they need a solid guy that can shoot threes. They don't need a guy that can shoot threes consistently because LeBron can shoot threes, but he's not consistent with threes. He's more of the dunker of the team, and AD's more of the defense of the team. And Austin Reeves, he can shoot threes, but he's not consistent. So we need somebody that's consistent because it's all about threes now in the NBA. It's all about getting those threes in. Everybody's shooting threes on the team, and every team almost has a good 3-point shooter on their team. The Lakers don't really have that. So we need to figure out how the Lakers can get a good 3-pointer on their team.
So I agree. You kind of need somebody to be able to dish the ball to, somebody to rely on to make that last minute clutch shot. And they don't have that. You're completely right. I don't think they're going to really find the person to fill that spot in until postseason, unfortunately. But you know what? That you kind of just have to build from the ground up there. Take with what you got, work with the best, and move forward until the end of the postseason, until you can find somebody who can really solidify that asset. of a spot.
Yeah, I think that's good too. I think they need to find somebody in the postseason. They're not finding anybody right now because it's almost All Star. So on to our next topic. It's All Star time, almost the time of year again. So we got LeBron and we got Giannis as team captains again. How you feel about that?
I wouldn't expect anything less. Like they are really the pinnacle of the NBA. When you think of the NBA, you think of those two players. They're really the juggernauts of the league. And they are really people who other players look up to. Typical. I wouldn't expect anything else. And yeah, they're always going to be the good leaders on the team that people look towards. So not surprised at all.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either, but what I'm really surprised is though how Curry is not a starter this year in the NBA All Star game. He is on the reserves. How did that happen?
Honestly, I think he's at this point in the career where he doesn't need to always be at the front and center of everything. He's already made his name. He's a household name. Especially when, raising his family and stuff like that. His kids are getting a little bit older. And I think if you take some more time to be with the family and watch them grow up, I think it makes sense of why, he's not at the front and center of everything. Which I really respect, right? Especially someone who has a high profile like him. So I think that's really actually kind of sweet. But it gives other people just, a place to shine as well.
Yeah.
There is no denying the amount of talent he has, but I think it's really nice to see him kind of peel back a little bit, take some time for himself.
Like I think like Shea got more votes than Curry did this year because I think Shea's playing really better than Curry this year.
Consistently, yes.
Consistently, yeah, he's playing way better than Curry.
I agree.
So that's how Curry did not get the spot on the All Star starting team, but he's still in the All Star game. Curry fans are probably upset right now because Curry's not starting. He's on the bench still. Like he could still get more playing time than the rest of the reserves, maybe.
Sure.
I think he's still going to get much playing time. You're still going to see Curry play. It's not like he's not playing. He's still playing. Like last year, he got injured, right? So he didn't play at all.
Well, I think that has something to do with it as well. Like you're trying to preserve your body. He's getting older in the league, and I think as time moves on, you're coming back from injury, and you're trying to preserve your health, keep yourself healthy as possible. So I respect the choice, and I respect that he's still acknowledged, but he's not at the forefront of it. So
yeah, I respect that too. Leading to our next topic. Warriors have been struggling recently, not just in playing, but losing an assistant coach from a heart attack. What do you think about that, Alainna?
Honestly, I find that there's been a lot of health news in terms of just not only in the NBA, but like in the NHL, NFL, and stuff like that. It's a hard season for a lot of people right now, and my heart goes out to the families and all the fans, and it's a great loss, especially on a team like the Warriors.
Yeah,
that asset.
Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking, honestly, to hear.
Yeah, it's very sad to hear that assistant coach died from a heart attack, and now Steve Kerr's got to like carry the team himself now, like making sure that his team is really good. Like he had help with assistant coach, but now Steve Kerr's on his own now.
Well, honestly, I think that happen. You have to adapt as the leader, as the head coach. I think he's a seasoned, not only a seasoned coach, but he has been in the game for a long time.
So he knows what he's doing.
Exactly. So I think it's good that he's able to step up to the plate and really take accountability for everything that needs to be done and get the job done at the end of the day. So props to him, props to the whole team, and especially the players as well.
Yeah. Let's take off to the sad topic for a bit, and let's go up to like points and trades now. So, Siakam, for Raptors fans, sadly, he's not a Raptor no more. He is a free agent now, and now he's on the Pacers. So what do you think now, Siakam, on his new team?
I'm not really surprised because there's been talks of trading him for the last 3 years. And honestly, I'm surprised that he hasn't gone sooner. But with contract deals and everything like that, I wouldn't anticipate him leaving until now, and that was a really good time to do so. Especially at this point in the season, right? I love seeing like Boucher really shine, as well as like Scotty Barnes as well. Those are two players I really think have great potential in this league. And I'm not saying that Siakam wasn't an asset, because he was. I think that he's going to have a better system and a better approach, starting more opportunity for him there.
That's true.
Instead of Toronto.
That's true. I think he has more opportunity now in the Pacers now. He can shine more as a star now. But I did like him on the Raptors, though. He was really good on the Raptors. He made the Raptors basically. Like he was basically like one of the best Raptor players. Like Laurie was a good Raptor player, but now
he's in Miami.
He's in Miami now. So the whole team, there's no more original Raptors players anymore.
I think you're saying like there's no more original NBA championship.
Championship Raptors no more.
Yeah, which is true. Like, but that's just bound to happen. Like, all of the key players from that year are now on different teams. Like, look at Kawhi Leonard, look at Lowry, and now Siakam's gone.
Yep.
So, but again, it makes way for new talent to rise and take name for Canada, which is really cool in my opinion. But yeah, he will be missed. But honestly, best all of luck to him. He's gonna have a great season.
Oh, definitely. Like
Yeah.
Siakam's, he's one of those players that can potentially be like a great player eventually when he gets like into the league more.
We'll see, and then I think that will, provide him with clarity too. Finding your footing in a new city, really gives you a chance to shine.
Yeah. Speaking of Raptors players, OG now is on the Knicks.
This one hurt a little bit more than Siakam. I'm not gonna lie, it hurt a little bit more than Siakam because I do like him more. I can relate to him more as a player. I understand his mapping of the core better, and I appreciate his skill a little bit more. Just because I can relate to him as a player myself. So I like him a lot, and the Knicks have had their ups and downs, and I think this is a good choice. It's hard for us as Raptor fans, but
the Knicks are doing pretty good right now. They're in 5th seed right now, so I think they're doing better with OG now on their team.
It was such a great asset to the overall standing of the team, and I think they are in great playoff position to keep it going, keep continuing on this high right now that they have. And honestly, I'm excited for them. I'm excited to see what is in store for this team.
Yeah. Sad for Raptors fans, but happy for Knicks fans. Yeah. Anyways, going into our next trade, Lillard on the Bucks now. How do you feel about that, Alainna? Lillard is now playing with Giannis, 2 superstars on the same team.
I think they're trying to this just reminds me of every time when they tried to really put everybody on the Nets that year.
Yeah, like Kyrie,
Kyrie Durant, and also having Steve Nash as the coach.
Yeah, right.
I was really they were really pinning them to have a successful run. But I think when you have so many, I don't want to say egos, but it is when you have so many different personalities and they all trying to fight for that leadership spot.
Yeah,
you're gonna have tension. So I don't suspect that he has that. He has his hype moments, but he's very cool and collected.
Yeah, very
I find
collective.
So, if anything, I think it's going to make them stronger.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because the Bucks are going to get even stronger now because Lillard is like their 3-point shooter now. Giannis is their rebounder, dunker, and defender.
Yeah.
Right? So now they got Lillard on the 3-pointer side now. So now the Bucks are doing really good right now. Because I think Lillard helped them get up to the higher potential now. Trailblazer fans are probably really devastated right now that Lillard's on the Bucks. That just happened recently. It happened mid-October, I think. He got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. That was very, very good for the Bucks, but very bad for the Toronto Blazers. Anyways, moving on to points in the NBA. Luka Doncic scored 73 points last night. Can you believe that? 73 points. Now, he is third, I think, in scoring. I think it's Will Chamberlain, and then it goes Luka, and then it goes Kobe. He scored that many points in the game, just like Kobe scored 81 points in one game, and how Will Chamberlain scored 100. He's in the talk now of those 3 legends.
It's really great to witness history like that, because this just shows what humble beginnings, consistency, practice and effort, this is where it gets you. He's one of those unicorns of the league where you're never going to see a player like him again.
Yeah.
And he's amazing. I love watching him play. I love watching him interact with other people on the court. I love his court vision. Just his whole playing style is so great. I love it. And I hope he takes the number 1 seed in that ranking because he deserves it. And he will get there for sure.
Oh yeah, he will definitely get there. There's a chance that Luka can score over 83 points one day.
Absolutely. One of these days.
One of these days, he's gonna break Kobe's record one of these days.
Which is kind of crazy to think about one person scoring 3/4 of the team's points, maybe even more in a game. I couldn't even fathom that in high school when I played. It's you're lucky to get a basket, but it's great to see such a legend, still living in his prime and all that. I'm really happy for him.
Because look at Doncic, he's still a young player. He's still got lots of years left in the NBA, and he's already making a big impact on it by scoring 73 points, and he's already becoming one of the best players in the NBA already from his starting play, so his starting points. And speaking of 70 points, Joel Embiid scored 70 points the other night. What are these players scoring 70 points a night now? The NBA is going crazy right now. Joel Embiid scoring 70 points, and then Devin Booker dropped 60 points the same night as Luka Doncic scored 73, and then the other night, Embiid scoring 70. What do you think about that?
I love what I'm seeing. I love that, they're giving the players, if they got hot hands, they're keeping them on the roll. They're keeping them on the ball. And it's great to see such consistency, and it's really cool. I love seeing it. I do, however, not undermining the talent. I will say that when you have stars like these on the teams, it almost takes away from the team game aspect.
Yeah, that's true.
Where I love to see, the ball being worked around a little bit more. And I wish, because everybody's talented.
Yeah.
They're in the NBA for a reason.
Yeah.
So maybe give other, players the opportunity to take those shots because they work just as hard, right?
They do work. They work very hard in the NBA. It's very interesting. Everybody's scoring high-point games. It's very intense now. Everybody's trying to get to the playoffs. Everybody's just fighting right now. And speaking of winning something, the Lakers won the in-season tournament. I was so happy about that. It was the best thing that ever happened to the Lakers since the championships in 2020. First team to win the in-season tournament championship.
Honestly, I thought they would have had a better roll off that win going into the season right now. However, I love the charisma around it. It's really great to have something like that established within their team dynamic. I think is really positive. However, if it doesn't translate to the rest of the season, it's almost going to be forgotten about, which is sad because it's a great accomplishment. But I hope that they can really pick it up and get a higher seed.
Like I was saying, I really hope they can learn from their win from the in-season tournament because they did really good there. They blew out every single team. They won 4 games in a row. They blew out every single team. They were so good. What I think of my conspiracy theory is the Lakers play better in smaller tournaments. They play smaller things without so much pressure. They play better in smaller arenas. That's why they won the 2021 championship because they're in the bubble. Smaller players, smaller teams, not big of an audience. Less competition, less intensity for them to be like their best, but they were still good. It was so intense, the bubble. The bubble was really intense. But I'm just saying the Lakers play better and less under pressure. That's why I'm thinking about how they won the instant tournament because they play better in smaller like championships like that.
Right, but then smaller is great, but then when it comes to the main stage, it doesn't translate.
No.
Pressure gets too much for them.
Because they only can do good in the smaller championships.
Right. They can't translate that into the bigger conference finals.
No. But kudos on LeBron getting MVP in that one.
Not a surprise at all, because he's LeBron, so yeah.
LeBron, appreciate you, man. So, who do you think is going to win the championship this year? I think Boston might win it this year.
I'm honestly rooting for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Honestly, because it's been a slow burn for a while now. And I'm really hoping that they come out on top. I do think that Boston has, they've had a solid team for like the last 5 years. And it's been very consistent. And I love all the players on that team. But I think for the plot and for the suspense and for the underdog, I'm picking the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's my final pick. Take it or leave it.
I like the idea of Minnesota Timberwolves because they're playing really good this year. But when it comes to like high intensity championships, who's gonna clutch up the most? I think we got the Bucks for that, and we got the Celtics for that.
I agree with you because they do have more experience in those high pressure situations, and we haven't really seen that from Minnesota. They kind of came out of nowhere, honestly, in my opinion, which is great. But can they handle the pressure? Can they handle the intensity when it comes down to conference finals? I don't know. I don't know if they can.
We have to find out if they come in clutch or not come in clutch for the playoffs. But we have a long ways away till that time. They still have a lot of time to get ready for that. Surprise player that I thought that's not gonna play as good. I thought it's gonna be like a bust because he was like 7'5". It's Victor Wembanyama. He's playing surprisingly good for his young age.
For his age too, and like I don't want to say inexperienced but I do say like I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. You have your typical big bodies on the court, and adjusting it and become like transitioning into that role can be very intimidating for sure. especially when you play against well-seasoned players. But I think I'm very impressed with his abilities right now, and there's so much more in store. I think he could be one of the greats if he's keeps consistent and he
Doesn't
stay
get
healthy.
injured.
Yeah, he stays healthy for sure.
As tall guys like Victor Wembanyama, it's hard for them not to get injured because they're so tall and lengthy, right?
Yeah,
So Victor Wembanyama, this is like intense training he does, like to not get injured. Methods not to get hurt.
right, which is good. But then also, I find that it also worries me a little bit because I'm like, oh, are they preserving him because one wrong move and then he can be injured and out for the whole season?
I think they're preserving him more because I think they want for him to play more, but
Right.
they need him to be healthier. So then, if he gets healthier, he can play better. He's already playing good he's already 20 years old, and he's playing like he's like been in the league for a
It's your
while.
age.
He's like
Yeah.
my age right now, yeah. And he can shoot the threes. He can dunk the ball. He can play defense. He basically like everything you dreamed of for an NBA player to have.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Exactly.
he's basically my he's basically a my 2K player. You basically just make him a
Honestly,
2K.
yeah. When you have that and it's honestly kind of like the dream package and you really want that on your team. And you just exactly. The most important thing is just to keep him healthy.
Keep him healthy. Get him. Hopefully they win a championship in a couple of years if the team gets a little better. Because Victor Wembanyama is probably like the best player on the Spurs.
Yes, I agree. For sure. There's no doubt about it. In terms of skill wise, his movement on the court, it's so much better.
Now that leads me to Rookie of the Year. I feel like Victor Wembanyama is probably going to win it this year for
I
Rookie of the
want
Year.
him to win. For sure. His talent is superb, especially for his age.
Because
And he's my pick for rookie.
isn't it down to Victor Wembanyama, Chet Holmgren, and then who's the other rookie? It's
Ooh, great question. Honestly, I watch him the most, so he's the only
yeah.
in my eyes, he's like the only rookie.
Chet Holmgren, because he got injured last year, so so he didn't really count as his rookie year. So now this is his rookie year now. So technically, he still has the running for a rookie now.
And it's hard though because he's walking on eggshells because you never know, like one wrong move and he's out again, which is unfortunate. But
I gotta say, I've watched a couple of Victor Wembanyama games. It's been fun to watch. Like he doesn't have to like jump the ball. He just throws his arm in and he dunks it. It's crazy with the way he does it. And the way
yeah, it's crazy.
like he could just block. He blocks. Like I think he's like the rookie. He's gonna be rookie of the year. Like he's probably like one of the most anticipated. People thought he was gonna be a bust because he was 7'5". He was really tall, and
Yeah.
they thought he was not gonna be that good because he was overhyped.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that when you have so much hype around you and you can really prove them wrong, is the best comeback story. So I love that. I love that for him.
Yeah, I think Victor Wembanyama is gonna be one good player one day.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna be up there with the top-notch players.
Oh, for sure, easily.
He's gonna win Rookie of the Year. And I think that's about it. I think we talked about everything. Anything you want to add?
Honestly, I'm super happy with how the NBA is going right now. I love mix up of teams, like I stated earlier. I love the intensity. I love the build up around the All-Star game as well. And I'm just excited to see what happens when it comes down to the wire and who's going to be in the finals. I'm super excited to see what the turnout's going to be.
I think that's about it for today.
Great.
This is everything we want to talk about. I think I covered everything I think I covered everything that's happened in the NBA so far.
That's pretty good. We did a pretty good overview, honestly. Yeah. Well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
It was great.
And thanks for joining me today, and tune in for the next podcasts.